So today was the second half of the quarterfinals in this year's World Baseball Classic. Of course, the quarterfinals started yesterday with a pair of games. The Dominican Republic defeated South Korea 10-0 via the mercy rule. Of course, this is the last round that will have the mercy rule. And U.S. beat Canada 5-3 to advance. So that's one semifinal made, and that'll take place tomorrow. U.S. versus the D.R. The first game was Italy versus Puerto Rico. Took place earlier today in Houston, and look at this. See this Joker with the glasses? He's a fan who sat pretty much at the front of this game, and he committed a fan interference that led to 2 runs for being scored by Italy. I think he's supposed to be a Puerto Rico fan, but he caused that stuff. I don't know, but anyway, he caused his fan interference made things worse for Puerto Rico. And here's the thing: we see fan interference like that too much in baseball. God, these people, they have to have their souvenir. They have to have their desired souvenir. They have to have their attention, so they get in the way of important things during the game. I see this too much. I see this a lot of MLB games a lot. They stick their head out, try to get a souvenir. I try to get a souvenir, and it ends up messing things up because a rule in baseball is if a ball is hit, if a ball is hit and bounces into the stands, if it bounces on the field of play and into the stands, that's a ground rule double. Any base runners on there move up 2 bases. And I think that's what happened here. 2 runs were scored on what was deemed a ground rule double because of that Joker. And interfere. They really need to do better when it comes to handling these fans like that. I mean, a lot of them do get ejected, but that's not enough. There needs to be like a 3-strike rule or something. And I did think of this on the fly. Here's an idea I have for these um, fan interference offenders. First strike, you're just ejected. That's it. You're ejected from the game. Second strike, you're ejected, but you're banned from attending games for half a season. Third strike, you're ejected from the game and you're banned from attending games for a full season. And I was inspired by when I thought of this. I was inspired by the drug policy punishment they've been dishing out in Major League Baseball lately, because of course the drug policy is different. Because if you violate the first time, it's half season suspension. Second time, it's full season. Third, it's supposed to be a lifetime ban. But I think after 2 years, you can kind of reinstate. You can probably reinstate. That did happen to one player. But anyway, because these players aren't going to stop. They're going to do whatever. They're going to do all sorts of stuff to try to get their desired souvenir and get the desired attention. And unfortunately, it's not like when some joker runs onto the field, you can't just easily turn the camera away from them. At least when somebody's on the field, you pretty much know what's happened, and you immediately decide, don't put the camera on. They started doing that about a number of years ago. They didn't put the camera on people who running really nearly onto the field. Fans will run on the field because that's what they wanted, the attention. And same applies here when people do the fan interference thing. They want attention and that souvenir. But it's kind of hard to kind of divert away from them because you're paying attention to that exact area. But yeah, the boom. The punishment needs to be a bit stricter for fans like this, because too many fans pull this and they don't stop. I'm pretty sure there's a same fan who's done this stuff like at least more than twice. So yeah, I think Major League Baseball really needs to kind of get together when it comes to fans like this, and they need to kind of really really punish these people. Because here's the thing: that bit of fan interference allowed 2 Italy runs to score. Sorry for stuttering. You know what the final score of this game was? 8-6 in favor of Italy. They won by 2. So yeah, that fan interference ended up making a difference. So yeah, Major League Baseball, baseball overall, they need to kind of really get strict when it comes to fan interference like that. Because if there's no strictness, these people, they'll do it again and again and again.